Welcome to episode 32, Colleen Bertino of the Gr8 Nrthrn Sexcast. How are you?
I'm doing just great. I might be a little sleepy because last night at 2:45, I thought I heard an alarm. It wasn't an alarm, it was my dream.
Oh, you're kidding.
It was so piercing. But when you get up and walk around the house and your kid and the cat are still out, you're like, are you freaking kidding yourself?
Is the kid in trouble?
No. She's sound asleep. The cat's sound asleep.
Oh, I thought you meant like outside.
No, it's my dream woke me up. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So there could be some snoring. Just smack me and I'll be fine. But I'm like, I have never had anything so realistic. Really, if I'm going to have a realistic dream, I might as well be having an orgasm. But no, what I hear is like an alarm. This is no.
You were robbed.
No, so robbed.
You were robbed. Mm-hmm. Now, Miss Liz is with us today. Hey, Liz.
Hey.
Welcome. Good to have you. I had a dream, weirdly, on this. Did you have any weird dreams, by the way, last night, Liz?
I'm not going to mention.
Okay. All right. Well, it is the Sexcast, you know. I, last week, had one of the worst, every once in a while, I mean, I don't know how you guys are, but you'll be dreaming and, you have the weird, typical, normal dreams or whatever, and you'll get maybe a nightmare every once in a while peppered in there somehow. Is that how you guys usually are?
I barely remember mine, which is why it just sort of totally freaked me out. I'm looking around the house last night. I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah. And I almost wonder, you almost think somebody's in the house too when something like that happens.
Someone's sleeping for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, one night last week I had all nightmares all night long until I literally at 4:30 woke up screaming. Yeah, they just kept getting worse, and my boyfriend reached over and shook me out of it, and I was eternally grateful. I got up and stayed up because I didn't want to go back in there. Yeah, I'm like, I can't deal with this. So I know it's pretty peculiar to wake up like that, and I was still yelling when he was shaking me. Again, I would have preferred an orgasm. Thank you very much. So, wouldn't we always? So. Yeah, so what's going on? Last week we were talking about Tara was on a trip, a buying trip for fantasy gifts.
She is still sorting through everything. She'll probably be for you to join us next week.
So we
can talk a little bit about that.
Is she back in town though?
She's back in town.
Okay, hi Tara, good for you. Okay.
And there's just a lot of stuff going on because when she goes, it's amazing how many emails. She's gone for like 4 days and she's still sorting through everyone who wants to sell her something or do this or that, or she's getting more information. And so she's like,
it's hard to take a vacation sometimes because you come back and all the work that you were supposed to be doing while you're on vacation is still there, and then you have the new work.
Yeah.
So
And Liz, you kind of have a little bit to do with the buying and the product stuff too. So you know how just overwhelming that is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got a catalog in the other day, and she was looking through it. She goes, "This is like a 75-page catalog. There are like 2 things in it that she liked."
Yeah.
And it was like, sometimes it's going old school, and sometimes it's like, oh no, school. So, and we're just giggling because those of a certain age will remember video aerobics or late night aerobics with the girls in the really high, the bouncing aerobics TV, stuff like that. Yeah. Some of the outfits look like they should be on that. And some things from the 80s should come back. I'm not sure what they are, but that is not one of them.
And one word, large lace doily over the butt.
Yeah, butt doily.
Large lace doily. Not like an 8-inch diameter.
It looked like something you would get to put on like the bottom of a cookie tray at Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of the most unsexy things I've ever
You don't want to be
mind you,
reminded of Grandma's cookies, right?
No. It was.
I made her butt look big.
It was, and the lingerie models in the catalogs are tiny, tiny women for the most part.
Oh yeah.
Even the plus size women are smaller than me. They just photograph, some of them are bigger.
Well, they're apple shaped. They're always pear shaped. Lingerie plus size models are always pear shaped. Mm-hmm. So they're really tiny on top, and then you just have big butts and thighs.
That's so weird.
Well, they want that small waist.
Yeah.
Because that's.
But I mean, can't we just do plus size for plus size?
No, some do. There are some companies that have like plus size models with bellies and rolls, and then some don't. Yeah. Some use size 12s.
But I was just giggling because not only was it the butt doily, there was tons of marabou. Once again, probably does well in other places in the world, not in the Midwest. Because you can just look at it, like we said before, it's how you can clean that.
Well, it's holiday.
Yeah, but because it's Christmas. We have to get the Christmas orders in now. I mean,
You're
some
kidding?
places already
Really?
done it. Yeah.
Seriously? Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah, it's
Okay.
Christmas in July.
Oh my god.
And we were just, but really the butt doily just made this. I mean, I'm like, look, and I'm running around the office, and I'm like, butt doily. And I'm like, what the hell is that?
Oh,
So yeah.
Well, the spring show I go to is half Halloween.
oh my god. Yeah, retail is a wacky thing. I mean, it's really. I mean, does it, have you, I mean, obviously you guys have been all doing this for so long, but did it really screw up your seasonal clock for a while when you got into it heavy, Colleen?
Once, for a while there, like, Christmas was just Christmas. I mean, it was about extra work and all that sort of stuff. And then becoming a parent made Christmas more fun.
Okay.
I will say that, yeah, I think retail ruins Christmas.
Oh yeah, you're in, because
It's just not fun.
No.
Like, it's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I don't, you don't have any time. There's no time for Christmas shopping, Christmas holiday. You're too busy at work, and so it's just Christmas is just not fun.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny though. One good thing about Fantasy Gifts is you guys don't have the big return rush.
No, not really. But we are fairly generous because if someone, we try really hard because if someone's in shopping, and it could be male or female, and if they're shopping for their partner and they're not sure of the size, and they come up to the counter with something that's, let's say, in a medium and another thing that's in a 2XL, we'll politely say, okay, these are two different sizes. Is there a particular one that you want? I mean, sometimes it's for different people.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, like, oh, I didn't know this. They're just visually grabbing what they find attractive. We'll try and steer into the right size.
Sure.
And a lot of, but those times after Christmas, someone comes back and like, I really like this, but it's the wrong size. We're like,
we always allow a size change in lingerie, but what we really extend on is the time frame, because usually we give them a week. But for Christmas and Valentine's, you might be buying your gift a couple weeks in advance.
Sure.
So then we'll lift that.
Okay.
It is, they're going through there. They're usually. I just want my account. We just need a different size here. We're going through there. And, obviously it's, it's still wrapped. It's still wrapped up. It still has, the half tag on. It's all in resaleable condition if someone has a name on something.
Sex toy.
Yeah, no sex
Oh, that was where I was going originally with it, and then you went all serious on me.
No, that stuff.
Sex toys we won't.
No, but we would, and if you cracked open some packaged lingerie, that's even tough too. But for the most part, someone can look at a size. Yeah.
You can tell if something's been worn. I mean, that's anybody that's worked even regular retail can figure that out pretty. And it just used to drive me nuts how many people tried to do that crap. It's like, really, seriously, I can see the armpit sweat. Go away. Okay.
I have worse stories.
Oh, I don't doubt that you do. So here in the Gr8 Nrthrn Sexcast, every week, we talk about stuff that pops up in the news. Like last week, it was the flinging dildos in Portland, and there's been an update to that story.
Yeah, several updates. Supposedly, it's the dildo fairy. Now, why we didn't come up with that, I don't know, because of course it was the dildo fairy.
Of course it was.
Now, we still don't know who the dildo fairy is. We know she's female, and she has like 10,000 sex toys, and she's been passing them out to other people to spread, to pass around town, I guess, to keep Portland weird.
Uh-huh.
But my favorite part about this, because I've got friends out in Portland, whenever they see a story, they've been, sending it to me, was the fact that she also had, and these were all seconds, these ones that didn't, pass factory standards.
Because I was going to say, that's a lot of money hanging on those power lines.
She must know somebody that works at like Vixen or something.
She's got someone or Doc Johnson or something. Because I'm looking at him and there's a pale color to him that reminds me of one of the things. But she also has a lot of butt plugs, and she doesn't quite know how to they're lighter weight and smaller, and she can't quite get them whipped up there. And so my brain is thinking, well, you could put a hole through and put the rope through, put a couple different on. I'm like, oh, really? I'm like, my brain is trying to figure out the best way
to string butt plugs
over power lines in Portland, and I'm like, oh, that's where I went when I was reading the story.
What is the symbolism with it? Is she making some sort of statement? Because I hear shoes mean
like drugs.
Yeah. No, I think it's just to keep Portland weird.
Okay.
Yeah, that it's silly. That it's fun that she's the dildo. I'm like, of course it's the dildo fairy. That's just
it's so funny.
But it's still all, there doesn't really seem to be a point other than the fact that it's weird.
Yeah.
And, I can deal with that. Yeah, I can deal with garments.
Well, it's funny. I mean, some of the news coverage of what?
Oh yeah, and the fact that there was a news part to it, you may going here. So people say, do not try and cut them down and use them.
Yeah, they like had to put a disclaimer. Yeah. And no, but the news coverage is hysterical because they're getting the reactions from people on the street.
Yeah.
And that's just it. I mean, Portland is getting all sorts of attention, and they're having fun and all of this kind of stuff. So I mean, I think it's kind of hilarious. I mean, might not have been the first idea that I came up with.
Makes me want to go to Portland.
I know. See, the unofficial tourism push for Portland.
Once again, if you want something done, put a dick on it. This is, I mean, we're getting there all the time.
And that's
increased tourism, hang dildos. Put a dick. It just seems to be how it works.
Works for Amsterdam.
Oh God, we're going to talk about Amsterdam coming up pretty soon. Well, okay. Before I will set this story up. You guys, did you all get the picture that I sent you of the accident that occurred at my house? The thing that met with its horrible fate.
Early demise.
Which product? What's the name
It
of it?
looked like Ovo.
Yeah, it was an Ovo.
Oh, yeah.
This was an expensive vibrator, wasn't it?
Battery, but
Yeah.
it's one of the high end. It's mid range because it was silicone, but it wasn't. It's not a rechargeable. So,
And it's not a penis shaped one. Okay,
It's probably in the 50.
Okay.
40, 50.
So I was gifted this. My friends here at Fantasy Gifts, you guys were kind enough to bring me a swag bag from the employee event that happened a while back, and I went down to interview everybody for the distributor show and whatever. So I get my swag bag with this gorgeous vibrator. So the other night, what happened was we kind of got some stuff out. We're like, okay, so we looked at what kind of batteries we need. We left it sitting on the counter. Okay, it's never been used. Left it sitting on the counter. It's this beautiful pink silicone vibrator. And we, all the way to get the batteries into town and back, we're discussing what we might decide we want to do, only to come home to find it completely chewed up by my two dogs. One of them got up there somehow, knocked it down, and they both had pink silicone on their lips. There was no innocence in this room, you guys. And
well, I'm just glad that, I mean, I didn't know that they got chunks out of it, but it looked like it was mostly there.
Yeah.
Because I'm just imagining what the vet bills would be
Yeah.
to remove
Oh.
these silicone parts from the intestinal systems of the dog.
well, it's been a colorful backyard cleanup the last few
Yeah.
days. Okay, let me just
Yeah.
say.
My cat likes to not. I use silicone hairbands,
Mhm.
and my cat likes to break them, cut them into
Oh.
little pieces,
Yep.
And I've had some vibrating cock rings where he will do the same thing. He'll take the ring and he'll just bite and he'll just eat it until it's like. Just likes to. He doesn't swallow them. He just likes to gnaw.
Oh, he doesn't swallow? Oh, okay.
No. But there was one time where my cat walked into the living room or something, and he had one hanging in his mouth. And he's walking around, and he had this little tiny cock ring, and it was like a thin band with a very small vibrator. It's the cheapest ones.
Oh, okay.
That we
Yeah,
sell. Yeah.
Oh, I just did laugh.
That's awesome.
No,
That is awesome.
No, definitely, because you posted that picture, and I was like, oh, yeah. The dog ate my vibrator.
Did Megan put it up already?
I don't know if she did.
She should,
Yeah.
because that's a funny picture.
But both of them have interviews today because we're hiring at a couple of stores. So.
Oh, okay.
I know she'll get to it.
She will, but the thing that was so funny about it, and they did get some plastic pieces off of it too,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I got condolence texts from some of you guys, and I would like to thank you all for your concern. But it was so funny. So I keep getting thwarted, guys. So we'll more on that later. You can't ever pass up a good naked story. And for once, Colleen, this one is not from Florida.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So you're driving drunk, which I hope you never do, but let's just say you are, and you crash into a speed limit sign and decide to flee the scene. Okay. What would you do next? Like if this was you? Let's just take a poll around the room.
Hide.
Okay, hide. Hide is good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Go home.
Go home, call and say my car was stolen.
Yeah, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Leave the keys behind. Having the keys with you can be a problem.
Well, Daquan Tate of Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania, went into a farm field, climbed up on the roof of a barn, and stripped naked and passed out.
I hope
Now-
it wasn't a tin roof because that could be uncomfortably loose. It wasn't night though, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would have been. It would have been like Daquan and Hot Tin. That would be bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So the police kind of traced him, you know,
Is
there.
it cold? Because I've heard hypothermia, you do start taking your clothes off.
No kidding. No, this is like within the last week. So I don't think in Pennsylvania it's
In
going to be.
Pennsylvania.
So
What
they.
if it was an Amish mark? That would be.
Those poor Amish people. Like that's what they need.
You're just naked dude on the road.
They don't drink, you know.
Right.
And then it's gonna take longer to get the officers there.
Because they don't have phones.
Right, and the buggies, yeah. But yeah, so the police found him up on the, you know, and I'm sure if it was daylight, he was gleaming up there, and he was like, uh-oh, and he fell off. Like, so, yeah, but he's not hurt, but he is in big trouble. So, yeah. I crashed my car, so I think I'll go strip and climb up on a barn roof.
My kid, when he's really angry, will start taking his clothes off.
You know, I've heard of that before. I mean, some kids just randomly do it, but I've heard kids that do it like, there
are too many. Actually, you know, I mean, I think most humans, to some extent, depending on the circumstances, would prefer to be nude. Clothing can sometimes be annoying as hell.
Yeah.
He one time did it when it was sub-zero, though, on the front steps of my daycare.
Wow. That's a statement. That is.
So you're going to get your point across here.
I should say.
I am unhappy, and I'm going to be nude now.
Yeah. And I'm like, please put your coat on.
Anger stripping.
It's really cold.
Maybe we should try that. Maybe if more people just got naked when they got mad, there'd be less conflict.
Maybe.
You know? More people probably. Less conflict. So, Colleen, you found this, and this is really funny. We're gonna go into popular porn searches around the world, and okay, it really says a lot about these countries. But what cracked me up were countries that had the same ones. Okay, so
I was trying to print it out myself so I could have it here, but I'm like, I can't find a consolidated list. I don't like 12 pages of ads.
Yeah, well, like Canada and Argentina both have the same one. Teen. Oh, and then Germany and Sweden, which they seem a little bit more simpatico to me than the
they're
other
really
two.
close in like stress a little.
But theirs was MILF.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's the opposite end of the spectrum.
I know. Oh, there's some weird ones on here. Okay, the United States. Anybody care to hazard a guess?
Anal. Judging by the amount of anal toys we sell, I'm going to go with anal.
Lesbian. UK. Seriously.
Spanking.
Squirt.
Squirt. Well, I wonder if that's because they passed that law that no longer allows female squirting. Like
What?
in their porn.
Oh, it could be.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going through there. Because when I was trying to find the article again, I also found articles on, like, you know, which countries Google porn more.
Right.
And most of them are very close societies.
Yeah. But I think the UK passed some like really weird pornography restrictions.
Okay.
I think one of them is
Female
like
ejaculation.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that I don't know if that could, maybe that's why they passed the.
Yeah,
That could be because they're looking to find it now. Yeah.
Because a lot of these stories were in the past 6 months.
Yeah.
So it's like, so in other words, in 2014, people were doing a lot of research.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, some of them are just damn weird. Like India, for example. This one's surprising, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing the word. I apologize. Bahabi, and that translates to elder brother's wife. Ew.
Well, yeah, to some extent, yeah. Well, there's that, or that, you know, probably closely related to folks that like cuckold porn, or, you know, stuff like that, where you just, you know, talk about, you know, just, you know, what's really taboo.
It's a power struggle too, right? Because you're the younger brother, right? So your older brother probably has power over you. So like the biggest thing to get back at him would probably to have sex
Pork
with his wife.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, Italy grosses me completely out. Mom.
I believe that.
Because I didn't have a chance to sort of vet and look through the answers, some of the stuff I was seeing, there were a lot of searches for mother-son porn.
Ew.
Yeah, and I think just that, you know, once again, a lot of closed societies, and people have, I mean, if you think we have skewed ideas about sexuality, a lot of countries are even worse than we are.
That is amazing. Well, France confuses me. And again, please don't tag me on the pronunciation, but it's Gr8, and it means Arab girl from North Africa, specifically.
So in other words, you're going to marginalize the immigrants, but you want to see them have sex. Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Exotic, something completely different.
Australia kind of surprised me. I was expecting something kind of twisted out of Australia because they're kind of a rogue group of people.
Yeah.
Massage. Ah.
Well, maybe it's because they're such a ruddy, outgoing bunch that they're looking for something a little bit more romantic.
Yeah.
A little how-to.
Maybe.
I know some people in Australia. I will have to ask them.
Do find out if there's a.
I will send.
Can you even find massage porn?
Maybe not.
Well, isn't it all technically some sort of massage, just faster? I mean, I don't know. Brazil, novinha, which means young girl.
I guess that's the same as Argentina and Canada there. Yeah.
Okay, but this is the word. Okay, lesbian.
Oh, right.
Yeah. This one confuses the heck out of me, and I meant to look it up, and I got distracted. Surprise. The word Mexico and the Philippines, both are. It's hentai.
Okay, that is Japanese anime porn, in which all of the figures, no matter, are just incredibly well endowed. And they're perfect figures.
The girls are prepubescent.
Ew.
Yeah.
But they're not. But the reactions,
boobs,
all the boobs are perfect.
But the
and
doll
all the
eyes.
penises, doll, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's anime porn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
We used to.
Oh, it used to be huge. But I think
Yeah.
a lot of folks, we have some. I mean, we do not keep it in stock, but I think most folks are probably getting it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have to check on it.
It's
Sure.
pretty cool though. I mean, like Alien and like just like really weird sex scenes with like
We'll have to check and see whether it's on our,
'cause it's
our
animation,
streaming site.
so
I'm sure it is.
whatever you can dream up. I mean,
Do you, either of you guys watch the Netflix series Orange Is the New Black?
I've watched some of the first season.
Well, that is so funny that there's one character. I mean, that show is so damn twisted and funny anyway. But there's a character in there who is writing basically alien porn, and she's got like this huge following, and now everybody's obsessed for the next chapter, and she's like getting pestered all the time, and yeah, it's just kind of funny. But it's kind of like that, so I wonder if that's where they got the idea. Spain casting.
Like casting couch, amateur.
Just says casting.
I imagine it's got to be casting couch, so it's like amateur stuff.
I'm not sure. I will have to look that up.
Yeah, we got to look into that one. Russia. Theirs is mature Russian. Okay.
Babushka sex.
A babushka sex.
I really like that handkerchief on the head. Nothing else? Handkerchief and heels?
Oh, God.
Sturdy shoes?
Okay. Colleen, you just literally went over the top right there.
I like the idea of sturdy shoes.
Sturdy shoes. Oh, my God.
That's funny.
Netherlands. Lesbian massage. Yeah, okay. Poland. Teacher.
I bet they really like that hot teacher.
I'm sure. Japan surprised me. Japanese wife.
Oh, wasn't that nice? Somebody else's, though.
Probably. I'm guessing. Egypt. This one makes no sense to me. Arab Egypt.
Well, they're looking for their own. I think it's a really naturalistic porn.
Oh, okay.
Where they don't want Western porn. They
want
want porn with Arab people.
I
I can see that.
I think Romania is a little behind the curve on everything. They just put in XXX. So yeah, it's kind of interesting though. Canada surprised the hell out of me with teen. Yeah.
It's just, well, at least most of the time. I guess you probably could find actual teen porn, but usually it's just like 19.
Okay.
Yeah, folks look young.
Yeah. Ugh. Okay, so I know Colleen has mixed feelings about this, but we've got to bring this up because perhaps some of the pictures should be posted on our Facebook page because a couple of them are hysterically funny. And then some of them are really disgusting. But the 7 insane sex toys, and if you Google this article, the guy who wrote it is hysterical.
I have to admit that the article around the pictures is funnier than the actual pictures themselves.
Yeah, but let's just bring up the Joyride fucking machine, which looks like a scooter with dildos on both ends, so you can have double penetration while you're running your errands. But then Liz noticed something.
No,
It doesn't move.
No, it's like a Symbian. A
Yeah.
Symbian is imagine
Like
a saddle with a penis that F's you, and it's the same price. I mean, there are porn where you just watch girls ride Symbians, and it's imagine you go on the Bucky Bronco and you got somebody who can run the controllers.
Yep.
That's what happens in a Symbian. The girl is riding the Symbian, and then somebody is manning the controls.
Oh.
So it vibrates, and then it
Yeah, it's a high-end toy. They've got
Oh,
their own
yeah.
website, and
they're what,
you know,
$5,000?
Yeah,
Oh
like
my
I said, that can be, it's not something that we're going to carry. In their own website, I'm not even sure if stores have them. It's practically for entertainment value. Just look at that and go, ooh.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the real dolls that exist, but certainly not something that you're going to carry in a regular.
Well, no,
store.
because you're going to want to customize a real doll anyways.
Yeah. I know. There's just very. So I saw this article and it popped through. Obviously, it's making the rounds in my Facebook feed and other ones, and I wasn't quite sure what to do with it
Yeah.
because it's really trying to be inclusive, and some of the stuff just doesn't make any sense to me. One or two of them are just a little bit outside the realm of what I would consider kink. But then I'm like, okay, that's my own brain.
Mm-hmm.
And all this. There's nothing here that is illegal. There's nothing here that is underage.
Well,
there was a company years ago that sent out a line that had like amputated penis dildos.
There's
And
one of
disease-
those in here. It's
and-
called a stumpy.
Yeah, and diseased dildos and a couple and penises, and we just looked at it and said, I'm sure there's a market, and that's fine. But if I put that in the stores next to everything else, I'm going to gross out more folks.
Yeah.
Than I'm going.
Well, it's hard for us to be all inclusive and include things that for the majority of people,
vast majority, not even.
they're not funny. They're they're offensive.
Mhm.
So I mean we don't want to be offensive to anyone.
No.
But some of that stuff. I mean, like the puppy dog gig.
I don't really see the point.
But
I
that
don't know what that
fetish
is.
right now is so popular.
Oh,
Is it-
Pride had a whole pack of puppies.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I think that just goes along with that, the rise in that fetish.
Yeah.
It's just really people want to be, you want to be somebody's puppy.
Oh my God! Well, the milk bone gag is what you just mentioned there, and it's so weird because it's a gag and it's strapped around the guys and it's shaped like a bone, and then it's got a tongue coming out with a hole in it, so which you can assume what goes in there. And I'm thinking,
But
okay,
it's not big enough.
okay,
Probably just for
So it's for
breathing
drool.
or drool, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's for drool, really,
Yeah.
because that's why the tongue is there. 'Cause
Yeah.
when you have a gag in your mouth, you drool a lot because you can't swallow, and so the drool comes. But that's part of the appeal of a ball gag is that you're made somebody drooling, sniveling because they can't breathe and they.
sounds fun.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Well, the one that cracked.
Add a facial and you've got a real good one,
The one that made me laugh though really hard. I mean, well, there's a couple in here that are pretty funny. Was the portable glory hole, and the comment.
That's funny.
The comment that the writer made is like, so if you want to have the fun without remodeling your house, I mean, this guy is just a hoot. But then he also used one of my favorite cartoon, episode references, Wile E. Coyote. He says, remember when Wile E. Coyote would paint a tunnel entrance on the side of a cliff and the roadrunner would run through it like it was real?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a great article.
Is it a sticker? I was looking at a picture and I couldn't. Or is it like actually a
No,
door that you
it's
swap
a door.
out?
Yeah, no, it's a door frame. You can move it. It's portable. I mean, it's hysterical. You can set it up anywhere you want. So you could take it to on location and just be behind it. It's just funny.
Yeah.
You got to look it
The
up.
doors are heavy.
Well, Colleen, it's not really.
I don't know. I was looking at it too, and I was reading about it. The picture was awkward. It was hard to figure out sizing and exactly how it would work.
Yes. So you look those up, and we'll probably maybe post a picture or two on those. But wanted to just kind of touch on the article that Colleen, you ran across it on. I think it was NPR, the one about the aphrodisiacs and how they had all the different experts commenting on whether or not they really work. I mean, food wise, and the general consensus is no, not really. But it's all in your head. anyway, so don't bother. But go ahead and eat jalapenos because they are good for your metabolism. But if you think that, well, the one thing that they wanted everybody to know, this is their public service side of it, is that there's some foods that can bolster your health and the parts of your body that you use for increased sexual activity. Watermelon. And that one has the amino acids that help your tissues and in your bits. Yeah, and that's really good for you there. So that was the one thing they said. Yeah, eat watermelon; it'll help you.
We're growing watermelons.
Oh, at the store.
Yes.
Let's hope they actually grow.
No, one of them's about the size of a volleyball right now.
We've had issues.
Yeah.
What's wrong? Are you got bugs or something?
If somebody well, they just won't ever get big enough.
Yeah, well, these are smaller ones. But yeah, so no, it's been Cucumber City, of course. We have lots of cucumbers.
Giant cucumbers.
And then we have melons and stuff like that. The garden's going.
We got a prostate cucumber.
I was just going to say, are we going to take some pictures of this stuff? I mean, maybe with some props. I think we should before it gets picked.
We had that prostate cucumber.
It
was like a perfect prostate toy.
So, did you guys, I mean, the Ashley Madison hack thing, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
I had an idea what it
People
was.
around that.
And I'm just thinking, there is the whole karma comes back to bite you on the ass thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's just, and there seems to be such a moral superiority for the person who did it because they're not asking for cash to get the information back. They want the site shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and I'm just like, that's just different.
How come Ashley Madison doesn't have better security?
There is no. I mean, it's. Everybody gets hacked.
I know, but let's say you're a user of Ashley Madison. Are you going to continue to be a user of Ashley Madison?
No, I mean this is pretty much. I'm assuming
would it be the death mail for them?
Yeah, I mean, you might as well shut down the site and just start a new one with a different name somewhere.
And I want to know if are there any good ones? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, that site is so, I mean, I'm, what, go ahead.
No, I'm saying the tweets have been great.
Oh, we got a couple classic ones for you here. But, I mean, I'm not judging and whatever, but I do find the premise of that to be repugnant. But I'm a capitalist, and I believe that if, you go out there and you can sell something and people are buying it, as long as it doesn't...
It's better than being on a dating site. I mean, my sister-in-law went on quite a few dates with guys that she realized date 2 was married.
Oh, yeah, no, I have a friend, too, that she just...
Because they just pretend they're single.
Yeah, she's like, she wants them to show up with, their divorce... I said, just ask for the divorce papers. So you can see that when you're, coming up. Because, a lot of times when we separated...
At least they're being honest.
Yeah.
Not to their wives, but...
Yeah. The one thing they're being honest about is the fact that they want to cheat.
But then I bet these people aren't getting what they want sexually from their spouse, and that's why they're cheating.
Well, that's a long topic there. I mean, it's like...
The causes of cheating.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's really what we as a society need to talk about more than anything. Is why,
the people
why are they there in the first place? I mean, some people just do it for conquest, and it has nothing to do with whether they love their spouse or not.
But you might be able to find a spouse that's okay with that.
Well, we had the swinging group.
I mean, there are people that are okay with that. That they understand that this is something you need sexually, and I can't give it to you, and but they're not open enough. What did I hear today? My favorite statement is living in the closet with the door open. Like, it was in reference to gay people that go to black churches. They're obviously gay, but they're living in the closet with the door open. And I thought that was kind of like, there's all these people are somewhat,
Yeah. I'm surprised because I haven't seen anything. I mean, people making jokes about it, and there's lots of good tweets. But and they said that the site is now secure. But what does that do for the
people
the millions? So I haven't seen it. Nothing's happened in 24 hours now. So where does it go?
Yeah.
And it's really fascinating. There's plenty of other places. They're gonna hack Grindr next or Match. I mean, there's all these different places because there's plenty of folks that have, I'm sure these folks have.
But do those people have something to hide? I think that's why the site got hacked is because these people have something to hide.
And they're intentionally engaging in something that's awful. And I mean, it could be some, scorned, person, hacker, a scorned hacker.
Totally.
But I mean, my ex-husband, I caught him with his assistant. I mean, and this is somebody that we hired, brought into the business, and and it was even creepier than that because she was, I'm just going to say it, she's a Russian immigrant and Eastern Bloc, thing, and she wanted my life.
Yeah.
She was always like coveting my things, and I did notice that about her, but
It sounds like a Lifetime movie.
Yeah,
it was
I think
really,
wasn't it with Shannon Doherty?
it was creepy as hell. I mean, that was almost as disturbing as being cheated on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think if you've ever been through something like that, it's like, that is so much more repugnant to you that people would do it, but...
They're going to choose this site to, but another one will pop up.
Oh, sure.
This one's done.
Yeah.
And it'll be named something else and probably owned by the same
Well,
folks.
then there's the single females that are on the site just getting paid for.
Oh, well, there's that.
I don't know.
We got to just run through. There's like 4 tweets here that are just freaking classic. Andy Richter, I think his is absolutely my favorite. He says, "Forget Ashley Madison. I'm worried they'll hack the farmers only, and they'll find out if they find out I'm not a real farmer, I'll be ruined." I don't know why that cracked me up.
No, I like that. And really, the farmersonly.com jingle is one of the best things ever. Google it, you will be entertained. But there's an honest site. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a different world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You need to know
But they're
24/7,
up for-
365.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be milking cows every day. I would love chickens, and about a mile, I'm like, what do I do if I want to go on vacation?
Yeah.
Who's gonna take care of my chickens?
See,
You know,
you think
can't
about
just-
these things.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I don't think I'm gonna get chickens then.
We'll live vicariously through a co-worker's mom who has a farm of chickens.
Yeah.
Cats
Just
and
visit.
peacocks and stuff
Yeah.
like that. We just look at pictures and I go, look at the kittens, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like 5.
Like,
I'm looking at kittens and baby peacocks and baby chicks and chickens, and that's like, hey, but it's in a picture, and I'm perfectly happy because I don't have to deal with the poop.
yeah, poop is a big deal. James Fritz, maybe I'm old fashioned, but I've always felt that websites like Ashley Madison take all the romance out of adultery. And then finally, from Minnesota's own Liz Winstead, this one's a beauty. Ashley Madison hacking sting reveals lots of organ harvesting of rich married dudes. So yeah, look that up. Star Tribune published all of these tweets, and they're just freaking hilarious. There's a lot of really
They
good stuff.
haven't leaked any names yet, then.
Not that I know of. It's sort of it's at some sort of stalemate right now.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm not sure where it's going to go.
More to come, I think, on this one.
Well, just kind of start looking around and see who looks really, really stressed out. I thought this was kind of interesting. Carnegie Mellon researchers did a sex study, and I wanted to get the take of the Fantasy Gift crew on this. Basically, they concluded that less sex can mean more happiness. And what
Less?
Yes. Now, let me explain. This was a 90-day study, and they took 32 straight adult couples who, on average, had sex between once a month and 3 times a week. And they asked all of them, at whatever level that they were, to double their frequency and complete a short questionnaire for this 90 days. And so they compared everything. And there was, on average, I thought this was interesting, a 40% increase in the frequency of sexual activities, okay? But they lost energy and enthusiasms compared to the control group who remained the same.
Oh, because they were under pressure.
Yeah.
I can say that right there. I mean, if you're thinking, oh my god, I'm supposed to have sex, 4 times this week instead of 2, where are we going to do this? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You're losing a little bit of the spontaneity, and I think sometimes if you've gone without it for a little while, it's much better when you have it again.
So sometimes, you don't want. Everybody has their own different libido. And, hopefully, and if you're in a relationship with someone where they're vastly different, that's going to be a problem.
It is. Yeah.
But for the most part, though, if it's good and folks are happy with it, asking them to double it or half it or do this or that, I think that's going to add way too much stress.
Well, and you know what this reminded me of? Because when the conclusion, they said, well, you really just need to do it and focus on the pleasure of the act and not pay attention to the frequency, which is what you two just basically concluded yourself.
Yeah.
So how many times do you read about studies like this and go, Did they have to really do all that to come to this conclusion? I probably could have told you that anyway.
It is funny because you need.
Yeah, but there's that whole thing with dopamines and stuff, and so I think there might be an idea that if you're having sex more often, that you're happier because you've had all this happy hormones released into your body.
Yeah.
You know, it's just so fleeting.
Yeah, like sometimes you need the science to prove the anecdote because you need to be able to recreate it or do this or that. Because there is so little. I mean, there's so much that's known about sex, but so little that's actually quantified.
Yeah,
because
that's
true.
true.
Like duh. But sometimes you need that, so there's some place to start, if you're actually wanting to find out about, things that make, a difference. How does the sex actually work? They still don't really know. They don't know how the brain works, how the body works, what's going through there. There's very little known. So I guess you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and the new season of Masters of Sex is on. And it's really good.
I can't even get through the first season.
Didn't you like it?
I've had the disc from Netflix at home since
Really? I love that show. Liz, what don't you like about it?
Well, I really don't like the relationship. I think it's really sad that she has to have sex with him to keep her job.
Yeah.
And I found it really just gross.
Mm-hmm.
I really grossed out that she has to sell herself like that.
Yeah.
So I hate him for doing that to her, and then I hate her for allowing it.
Okay. Yeah.
I realize it's the 50s and 60s, and as a woman, it's hard to make yourself. But
see, and that is. I mean, I don't disagree with anything that you said because I agree with your assessments there. However, because this is a true story, and the fact that all of this was actually happening in the 50s. I mean, it was like so interesting to me to see this chronicled. You know what I mean? So that's where I was watching it from that.
I don't know. The whole thing is tragic, and then you've got that closeted, the head of the school, closeted gay man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just sad. Yeah. It just makes me really happy I was not born in the 50s.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, I see some things, I'm like, okay, maybe I should watch or do this or that, and I'm just, sometimes like, well, am I watching it because I want to watch it or it's work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is that, isn't there?
Yeah. And I have a very difficult time sometimes with period pieces or things that are true because it just was so awful.
Yeah.
I'm not unawares of what the world was like, and I'm going through there. But then again, I also have a hard time with the fantasy sex too and stuff like that. I mean, we were talking about this today, Sons of Anarchy. Mm-hmm. I watched the first couple of seasons, and then it just got really. I mean, even though it was like hot, nude guy ass.
Oh, left and right,
all over the place.
So good.
But it got so violent, and I said, and it might be realistic because when someone got punched in that show, they got punched. You didn't get up from it looking like ow, and then punch back.
Mm-hmm.
So it was realistic. I said, I don't need that.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't need realistic attitudes too. I mean, I have a hard, it just my brain takes what I see and it runs with it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's.
I guess for me, the fact that relationship happened ruined the science of the study too,
mm-hmm.
because now they're no longer impartial. They've got this weird relationship going, and I just.
Yeah, it's weird though. But once again, moving back to the studies, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah.
So people are still trying. I mean, not too much here in the United States, but there are folks around the world that are still trying to figure out how people think.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, and yeah, that's interesting, an interesting take. It's just funny how different people kind of go about certain things, you know what I mean, and perceive them and process and stuff like that, which, by the way, one more thing before today, I really wanted to get to this. We didn't get to it last week, was some things that 12 things you didn't know about sex after 50. And you don't have enough experience.
No, I'm only 8 days past 50.
Yeah, you are.
She's had a little experience.
Yeah, here's the fun part. Oh, excuse me.
You okay?
You're gonna love this stuff. A couple weeks ago, we were talking about my birthday trip and this and that. And my guy's with me. He's a couple years older than me. And my sister's in the office, and we were just laughing because we were. She was joking that everything still works, and she wasn't even thinking in a sexual way. So we both paused a little bit. My guy just answered. Yes. It took like 3 beats for my sister to go, oh, because she I go, oh, hopefully she won't be listening to this one for a while because the next time I'm going to see her, I'm just going to look at her and go, by the way, everything still works.
Oh, God.
But it was funny because I'm just sitting there, we're like, beat, there it is. You know, where it clicks in your.
Oh, there's the light bulb. There it is.
It was hilarious.
I would imagine though, sex after 50 is changing rapidly all the time, right?
Oh yeah. I mean,
it used to be the menopause was it. Like
There's
women
like
were
you
like,
dried up,
all
that was
right, we're done.
Yeah.
Right? But now, hey, there's lube. There's testosterone
Yeah.
in wipes and lube.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I just insist on being younger longer.
yeah.
I mean, I look at pictures on the wall of my grandparents at 50, and they're wearing little matching suits and sturdy shoes,
And they look really old.
and have a handbag.
Yeah.
I'm like, those are old people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, no.
And we've talked about that, you and I, like looking at those very pictures. I know exactly what you're talking about. And it is weird how I think there was an attitude, and this has evolved, where you kind of just mentally hung it up at a certain point.
Oh,
and like there's some
happily.
Yeah, well, but not just sex. I mean, the whole idea of your youth. I mean, and then there was some of the TV shows that I've been watching, some of the series. The women they refuse to speak about their age, and they're ashamed of aging. It's like, what the hell else are you going to do? It's like, I'm so glad that we're breaking down, and remember when 40 was the new 25, and crap like that. But it's because what else are we going to do? I think people are sitting here going, hell no, I'm not going to give up.
Well, you're still the same person. I mean, in my mind, I'm still 23 years old,
yeah.
and I
I
look in the mirror and I'm like, I just ignore that person.
No, I get old because you just don't have the boomers have decided that they want to do everything longer. Now, they may raise some spoiled kids, but they're also, they want their knee replacement so they can keep running.
Mm-hmm.
They want, just refuse to, that's it. They do it until they drop dead, and I'm, perfectly willing to go, that's a good idea.
God love them.
That's an excellent idea, and so I think the concept of aging is very different. I mean, you used to laugh and say that, aging was 20 years older than you or something like that, but now I look at 70 and I go, well, let's make that 40 years older than me.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law is almost 70, and yes, she's gray-haired, but I wouldn't call her old.
Oh my God, my mom's 80, and you wouldn't believe it. I mean,
didn't Betty White just do some skydiving or something?
Oh God, yes.
90 or?
No,
Oh, yeah.
so it is. You just there's no hanging it up anymore. So I'm assuming that some of the stuff that some of the studies probably bear that out.
Yeah, well, this is a compilation. I was just going to run through these real quick before we wrap up today because I think it's kind of interesting, and I definitely agree with this first one that says sex between older women and younger men is no longer taboo. And I personally, you want to talk about things that just irritate you, the term cougar, I hate it. And I hate that whole fascination with it. It's like, it is what it is. Why do you got to label it? But, that has definitely, we can all agree on that one, right? For sure. That's just a non-starter at this point. Men over 50 are often better in bed than younger men. I'll vote yes on that. Anybody? Well, you don't know yet, do you? Okay. Liz. Liz, okay, yeah.
He is older than that much.
You have several more years of practice to get in there. Work on.
This is one that's going to resonate with Miss Colleen over here. Women, including those over 50, don't need a man in their lives at any cost anymore, which in the past I think we thought we did, or at least society told us we did.
Yeah, you don't need, you're the fact that you can, get along on your own, and, you can do what you want on your terms.
Yeah.
People are still fighting for it. It's still hard. There's still double standards out there, but they lessen.
Yeah.
It's nice, though. It's nice to have a partner.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. I'm perfectly happy, being single, but having my guy.
Yeah.
Because I have my space and he has his space, and we don't worry about it. I was, Amy Schumer did a bit on sleeping together with someone. He goes, I don't mind the cuddling, but when we sleep, you just get the hell over there.
Oh, I know a lot of
No,
people
I
like
don't like
that.
cuddling. My kid loves to cuddle.
When I sleep, I want to sleep. Sleeping together and sleeping are two different things.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Before kids, I used to actually sleep through the night. I would go to sleep and wake up when my alarm went off.
Okay.
It has not happened since I gave birth. Well, actually, probably since I was pregnant and peeing every 2 hours.
Well, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. They note that, and there was a comment from one guy talking about reclaiming passion out of boredom in a long marriage, and different men kind of offered
7-year itch.
Yeah, well, this guy just says, you know what? We've come to the conclusion that if the mood strikes us, we make time for it right then and there. We don't wait.
Yeah.
You know, and really.
Well, you got the kids out of the house finally.
Yeah.
I'm in that world where things aren't as spontaneous because there's a little one everywhere.
Yeah.
We've got between bedtime and when he decides he's going to come sleep with us in our room.
Oh.
No, I can see that because if you get to the point where your children, and if you have children, whatever, let's just go with folks with children right here, and they are out and they're on their own and they haven't boomerang back because of the economy or anything like that. If you're in the house by yourself and you've decided that the two of you still have things in common, and that's why there's a lot of divorces past that time, and they're like, why the hell am I with you? But if you decided that you are still going to be in that marriage, I think there's a lot of freedom. I mean, it's,
well, and then they also say,
like, there's nothing getting in the way. We want to do it on the living room floor right now.
Yeah, but they also say that postmenopausal, the fact that having babies is no longer a thought or an issue or something to worry about frees a couple up to have,
Because that's right about the birth control.
Yeah. No, that's definitely true. But I got one for you, Liz, to help you. You know what my mom used to do to me when I was at that very young, inquisitive age and she was trying to have a sex life because she was divorced? She put, I swear to God, you guys, Crisco on the doorknobs because the bedroom door didn't have a lock on it, and so I'd be out there and I couldn't get the knob to turn. And I mean, I think that's actually genius. It's funnier than shit. And she said, and I
start crying.
Oh, she said I would stand there and go, Ma, because I couldn't get the door. So just a tip for you guys out there to give it a shot.
Grant, he actually came. I picked him up the other day. And he asked me if he could have a stepmommy.
Oh. Oh my! And pray tell, how did you answer that?
I told him what it would take for him to have a stepmommy. And I said, "Would you like that?" And he goes, "No."
He didn't quite know what it was.
Oh, you didn't know what it was? Yeah.
Oh God. Boomer dating requires a fair amount of courage. They're talking about getting back out there and going on the dating sites. I thought that was...
I have not dated very much in my life. I have hated every moment of it. So the idea of going out there as someone, although there'd be good things, because you know exactly what you want.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's no game.
There's no game.
On the bush. Yeah.
You're like, nah, I don't like that. Bye. Or that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming
you're also not looking for marriage. You're not looking for a father for your kids, or you're not looking for any of that. All you're looking for is someone to spend time with and have sex with, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and they note
pluses and minuses.
For sure, and they note Tinder not just for kids. They just wanted you to know that. But the last two kind of cracked me up. And we'll save the best for last. But boudoir photo shoots, not just for 20-somethings. And they're saying,
20-somethings wouldn't spend money on that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. One, you have to have the money, and two, you just have to realize, I am to be comfortable in your skin, no matter what your skin is. It's spectacular to have that. I don't give a fuck moment anymore.
Yeah.
About this or that. We talked about it before. Yeah, there's still going to be some shaving happening. But yeah. But for the most part, being if you are happier in your skin, it's going to show in a lot of different ways.
For sure. No, I couldn't agree with you more. And finally, grown-ups play with sex toys - a lot.
Oh.
And the expert. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, well, once again, you're like. If you're together at that point and you're having a conversation about that point, it's about the conversation, and you're gonna go. Let's go here. Let's try this. That looks interesting. If you're flipping through the back of Cosmo and you see the sex toy, you're like, well, what do you think about that? Because hopefully you're at that point you're having that conversation.
Yeah.
And you need more lube.
Well,
so
and
you go into a store and you're looking for lube, and hey, you're already there, so you might as well get something else.
For sure. Well, and it cracks me up. The quote from the expert talks about hormonally challenged bodies may need extra help. Mm-hmm. And then they list a bunch of things that we talk about here all the time for what to try it with whatever's going on with you. So 12 things you didn't know about sex over 50 if you want to check out that article. Yeah. So, and you guys are really good. That's
local author, isn't it? Sex after 50.
I think so. Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, we'll take a peek at it. Yeah, so, but yeah, stuff that comes up in conversations and things that Fantasy Gifts people help customers with all the time, really, right?
No, we got several. Actually, we got a thank you email the other day from someone we helped out at Pride. That was just really sweet. And they went to the crystal store and loved the service they had there. Had another gal, because I got little comic cards in the store, so people will fill that out, or my emails at the store, and so we'll do that. And it's just really nice to get that feedback that someone takes that time.
That is nice.
We had a really good,
Not just the angry feedback.
Yeah. I don't like the return policy.
Yeah.
But
I make 7 figures.
a massive injustice. It's some of the stuff is so interesting. We're just like, well, we've learned to just wade through and just find the issue, deal with that, and ignore the hyperbole.
Yeah.
And share the good.
Yeah, sure. Share the good.
And it is, I didn't realize how impactful good reviews and feedback can be in certain companies. I mean, it's always nice when somebody gives good service to thank them, however that may be, whether it's a server or something like that with a tip. But it's like I've recently been on a kick of answering every survey if I got good service.
My friend's an esthetician, and she lives and dies by her yoga.
Okay.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, lives and dies. Like.
Okay.
We had spectacular service on my trip. I love, the Marriott that we stayed at and the Big Island of Hawaii. Everybody there was spectacular, and the person who helped arrange flowers and did this and that, and cake went to luau. I mean, it was amazing. And so we've all sent emails.
Oh, that's
to
cool.
corporate and to the person, because I want to make sure that they know.
Yeah.
Because the amount of times you see someone just being rude, thinking that they're better than a service person. It's just,
I make 7 figures.
Awesome.
7.
Yeah. We get, and I've seen that in a lot, and it's just people, they're doing their job, they're rules to pay.
Yeah.
Go by.
Yeah.
It's nice when folks say nice things.
Okay. And so do visit any of the Fantasy Gifts locations, and if speak up if you love the service. We're pretty sure that you will. And it's fantasygifts.com. And on Facebook, we're at the Gr8 Nrthrn Sexcast. Please definitely check out our Facebook page, because Megan is the rockin' social media.
And I found a weird animal for her to post.
Did you?
Yes. I was watching a show on Netflix called Freaks and something, and there was a weird animal with a very weird penis.
Okay. Excellent. Well, we'll look at that.
Posted.
Yeah, definitely go on Facebook. Guys, have a super good week. Good to have you back, Liz. And Colleen, you and I will be back next week.
See you next week.